will be any live video that I have going forward. I will be putting that on my secondary page, Legend Dotto. So this probably be the last live that I do on this page right here. This is my music page. You know, in a nutshell, and I got a lot of plans and a lot of different stuff that's about to happen on the music page as well as the Legend Dotto page. So everybody who see this video, follow, not even follow, but go to my Legend Dotto page, and I'll be continuing my work on there. Let's talk about it, man. Take K47, Tate Moore McIntyre, age 24, age 23 right now, has been sentenced as of yesterday to 80 more years in prison, man. 80 more years, bro. And it's to run concurrent with the 55 plus time served. In total, that is 135 years. Let's talk about it. TK47, man, born in 2000, had a rough life, and we about to talk about the dissection of it all. We about to get into the mindsets and the mind states that the young black male goes through. It's for him to be in these particular situations that cause him to put himself in a failing situation before he even turns 18 years old. Let's talk about it, man. First and foremost, rest in peace to the victims involved in everything that happened with TK. First and foremost, we cannot discount that, because the unfortunate truth is, because we go through things, we cannot cast our anger or our dissolution off of anybody else. So when somebody's life is lost because you went through things or you've been through things that's traumatic in your childhood, does not precipitate that you can go out and put harm to other people. So I gotta get that out of the way, because my message in all of this is, so-called young black male, do you have direction in your life? Do you have a destination? You know what I'm saying? The truth is, you know, I'm watching the sentencing that's happening, you know, and I try to watch that in a nutshell in like a real quick span of time. And all I could get from it, even from when it was originally happened, when he first finally got booked after the song and everything, I just couldn't do nothing but think like, you know, damn, a nigga just did not have a chance. And I had to spin that block again right there. But when I tell a young black male to have a destination, this is what happens when you don't. This is usually what happens when you don't. To see those tears fall down that young man's eyes, you know, and it's funny because we hadn't seen him when he first got booked. I think we hadn't seen him for like a year or two. Then we started seeing him pop up in court for the case that he got currently, or that's now just ended. And everybody was like, age like 30 years, and damn, that nigga, he got hella years on him, and da-da-da-da-da and shit. What's the word, my boy? What's up? What's up? Japan Godzilla, what's the word, my boy? And I'm looking at it, you know, everybody was frying him, talking about how he got older, but man, when they was throwing that book at that nigga, that nigga ain't never in that moment. To see a young man get 80 fucking years, gang, 80 years. Now, mind you, I saw a look, and I'm watching it in casual. I'm not really like tapped in. So I'm just like, I'm looking at all the people that turn face on you. That's another message to you, so-called black men. This is what happens when you put yourself in a situation with, I ain't even gonna say other demographics, but let's just be factual. There were other demographics in that shit. If not confidential. What's my favorite pistol? Man, look. Bonjour, je m'appelle Wolfgang. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna answer that question right now, man. I don't do hot shit on the internet. Unlike a lot of these other young niggas, I don't do hot shit. But my biggest thing on that all was, you know, watching it, and you see the comments. You know I'm in the hood. I'm always in them trenches, man. But not like that, though. What's going on, man? Motherfuckers will flip on me, but I'm the one that's holding down the whole fort, because I really believe this gang shit. Nobody else does, though. And when they start throwing them years and they start throwing that time on the motherfucking kid that's 17 and 16 and 15 years old, and they like, damn, I ain't even out of high school, you gonna see how quick a motherfucker really, you gonna see how gang shit really is. You gonna see how only the family shit really is. You know, and I got a 15-year-old about to be 16-year-old nephew. It would break my heart to see him end up in a situation like that. You know, watching that case, watching it when it initially happened and watching it as of now, I had the same reaction. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Another young black male who didn't have a first chance has no chance now. And what I want all so-called black men to understand is we don't have a first chance. When we fuck our shit up, because we can't just be teenagers. We can't just be like, oh, we made a mistake and we get to grow from it. Usually our situations that we come from in these hoods have real life altering, major, long-term consequences. We don't get to be like, oh, even, you know, fuck the body. We rob a bank, kick dough, jack boy shit, whatever the fuck, back, you know, anything. We don't get the chance to be like, all right, here's a couple weeks, learn from your mistake. Here's a month or two, here's 6 months, learn from your mistake. And now a body is involved? Oh, nigga, you know how many people I know that lost their lives at 16 years old, and also the niggas who perpetrated the acts lost their lives also at 16 years old? It's the major long-term consequences for me, gang. And what was the saddest part, watching TK go to jail that first time, and you know, he up in there still trying to do his gang bang shit, and I just was like, damn, this young nigga don't get it. This young nigga don't get it. You not getting out, brother. Now, one could be like, oh, you know, he's doing what he has to do to pass his time, and I'm never gonna tell, I mean, even down to the nigga that's about to catch a life sentence or about to catch a death penalty. Unfortunately, you still gotta keep on living until you're not living no more. So I understand the fact that you gotta move on, and you can't be in there, oh, my dog is dead, oh, woe, it's me, I got life in prison. You gotta move on. But the actions, the fights, all the shit that he was getting into let me know that he really don't understand the trajectory of what's happening to him right now. So to see him shed tears when he got this 80 years was so revelatory. I was just like, another one bites the dust. And there you have it. And it ain't nothing you can do no more. Once his life is gone, it's over with. And next year, everybody forgets about it. You want to know what happens to you, so-called young black male? That's what happens right there. You do some shit, you get put away for years, and niggas forget about you. It's just like you dead. It's just like you dead, except you literally buried alive. So just, you know, I ain't no hero, no Malcolm X trying to preach to the black community type shit, but I do have an affinity for my brothers, because we are the recipients of the most lies. The so-called young black males, the recipients of the most lies. And these types of situations right here, they not gonna stop. They not gonna stop. So in closing, man, I just hope that anybody that's just coming from these environments, these impoverished environments, and you feel like this is the lifestyle that you have to lead into. You know, I saw somebody put up a comment right there under the video where he got sentenced to 80 years, and they was like, this should be showed to boys in school. You remember how they used to roll the big ass TV with the motherfucking VCR in our room? We happy as hell. Put that shit on right there in front of a classroom and see how that'll wake up a couple young niggas. Cause once it's real, ain't no more I was an adolescent. Ain't no more I was a kid. Because that was a big thing I was hearing throughout that case. I know you were a kid. I know you were a kid, but we know you didn't have the best the obstacles you had to go through. We know you didn't have the best, we know you had a shitty upbringing, but, and the truth is, there is a but, because when a life is lost, your victim, the victim card for you is out the window. Because those people had nothing to do with you being impoverished. One of the dudes was a videographer and trying to fucking help your ass according to what the case is. And I can't speak for nobody else. I can't speak for nobody else. And that's why TK is where he is right now. That's why he's the prime one, because you were the focal point. You were the focal point. Of course they was going to give everybody slaps on the wrist and please and all that shit. Nigga, they wanted you. They wanted you, my brother. And it hurts because he ain't get it till it was too late. That's when niggas usually get it. And all that too late shit don't mean nothing. Congratulations. You getting out in 21:36. Peace to y'all, man. Be blessed.